阿弥陀佛，大家好。护摩法会即将要开始了，请大家将你们的手机调为震动或者关机，谢谢大家的合作。真佛宗美国彩虹雷藏寺白度母护摩法会开始，与会大众请起立，恭迎真佛宗创办人无上法王根本法师。
Today is the White Tara Homa Fire Offering Ceremony here at the Rainbow Temple in North Bend, Washington. We would like to welcome Our Lady Truth Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Sheng, to enter into the Homa Hall. Let's recite the Root Guru mantra.
师尊好，师母好，大家好。我们现在恭请师尊带领我们一起做观想大礼拜。顶礼坛城，一拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊。吽观想顶礼，回天心三印，二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽观想顶礼，回天心三印，三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽观想顶礼，回天心三印，四平等一起手。我们现在恭请师尊与孙的弟子们打招呼。
师母，我们想你们。我们好想你，我好爱你，爱你们。我好。师母好，师母我们想你们。师母我们爱你们。想你。师母我好想你。真好，师母好。师母我想你们。我爱你。师母好。我想你们。我们好想你。爱你。我们爱你们。爱你们。我爱你。好，师母好。
我们现在恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。请师母莲香上师上座。
We are inviting His Holiness to take the Dharma throne. We are also inviting Simu to please take the Dharma seat. Inviting Rinpoche, all the Dharma masters to please take the seats. Inviting all the venerables, all participants to please take the seats.
请法王圣尊莲生活佛加持助祈者报名表格。
Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. The offering of Hatha. Let us now join our palms with reverence, and together we are inviting Raja Master Sulian Song to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage of Guru as a symbol of the highest honor. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lucana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the Padma Kumara mantra 7 times.
Om Guru Lien Sheng Siddhi Hong. 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 做四无量观。
Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables, ancestors and relatives from the father side on your right, from the mother side on your left, friends and teachers behind you, enemies and karmic creditors in front of you, and all sentient beings around you, together practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood.
做精行受印。
Wake up call. Recite purification mantras and deity mantra.
Om Vajanadam He He Hom. Namo Samado Modaran. Om Duru Duru Dewi Soha.
Recite invocation mantra.
Om Soha. Om A Hom Soha. Om A Hom Soha. We
sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. Namo White Maha Padma Kumara. Namo Lotus Light Self Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo White Tara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo White Tara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa. Namo White Tara. Namo Golden Mother of the primordial Jet Pond. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. two Buddha school, 8 primary deities, Namo Yamantaka, Akalanatha, 4 heavenly kings, Namo Sima Bodhisattva, Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lechang Temple, and at the South Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, mountain god, earth god, plant god, wind god, water god, heavenly fire gods, dragon gods, and all divinities, as well as the city god, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth half bow. Great mandala offering. From the offering mudra, visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, the main deity of Homa, White Tara, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and marriage purge all karma to all of our civilization. Fourfold refuge, visualize our lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, Sangha jewel, to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the mantra. Namo Gurute, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sankhyaye, Namo Gurute, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sankhyaye, Namo Gurute, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammoye, Namo Sankhyaye. Alma protection. Form Vajaklap's mudra. Recite Vajapani mantra 7 times. Om Bodhi Anjali, 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 Om Bodhi Anjali. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Ling Song to perform blessings with Mala. inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Liansun to set ceremonial demarcation, to bless the registration forms, hallmark cards, and all the offerings. Please stand up and join your palms with reverence, and together we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and partial deliverance. We are inviting His Holiness to return to the Homa throne. Inviting Sumu Raja Master Lian Xiang to please take the seat. Inviting Rinpoche, all the Dharma Masters, and all participants to please take the seats.
师助教，我们上进大的救助。
We said the heart mantras of the eight principal deities and incarnate Buddha Amitabha.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Panamo Lincoln Soha. Om Ha 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 Wei Samoye Soha. Om Jali Juli Junhi Soha. Om Jambala Chalang Chalaye Soha. Om A Hom Peja Guru Pema Siddhi Hom Se. Om A Hom Guru Pe Aha Sasamaha Yan Sheng Siddhi Hom. 德尔塔嗡贝卡吉亚贝卡吉亚，玛哈贝卡吉亚，那扎萨摩特的黑梭哈，那么3691199500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。那么3691199500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。那么3691199500。同名同号阿弥陀佛。请大家祈念请佛注释祈愿文。
I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantric God, all Buddhas of the 10 directions, compassionate 30 disciples, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are straining, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels emanate wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, humans and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead that we stay in this world to turn the Dhamma wheel to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, dipping fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. True Buddha school disciples wholeheartedly pray to the main deity of Homa today, the White Tara, the 7-eyed Buddha Mother. By your power of compassion, please bless our lineage Guru to live a long life, continually stay in samsara. Please bestow good health, strong body, and peace. May he be always spontaneously blissful and carefree, full of enrichments, love, and respect. We pray that he stay in samsara to transmit the Dharma essence, then to liberate sentient beings from their afflictions. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the 7-eyed Buddha Mother, the White Tara. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the 7-eyed Buddha Mother, the White Tara. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the 7-eyed Buddha Mother, the White Tara. We pray to the Tara Bodhisattva. To release the white Dharma ship and carry the Sparta spirits on the Dharma ship. Please bless the Bardo spirits and purify their body and mind. We pray that you retract the Dharma ship to enter Sukhawati, the Western Paradise, realm of utmost bliss. We pray to White Tara to bless all believers with good health, with good health and longevity. Please bless so that the pandemic disappear, the coronavirus disappear. We pray to White Tara to eradicate all calamities and catastrophes, so that the clear light radiance is all omnipresent, that the light of the sun is omnipresent, the light of the moon is omnipresent, the clear light radiance of White Tara is also omnipresent. Please bestow good health and longevity. Please bestow ample resources. Please bestow complete wisdom. Please bestow love and respect. May faithful disciples penetrate deep into the sutra and can comprehend the teachings of the Buddha, to learn and study the Buddha's conduct, to swiftly gain spiritual union, that every one of the faithful believers would have attainments. To the seven-eyed Buddha Mother, White Tara, and gods in heavens, gods on earth, may we be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted. May all calamities disappear. May enemies and enmities disappear. May the pandemic disappear. May coronavirus disappear. May all contagious diseases disappear.
念3遍百字明咒。
Recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Bezamami Mancha Bezabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Beja Sato Samaya Manubanaya Beja Sato Tenu Balisha Jetsome Bawa Sudo Kayume Bawa Sobo Kayume Bawa Anuratome Bawa Shawa Sili Meborayasa Shawa Karma Sutame Chitamo Siliyan Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Bezamami Mancha Bezabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Beja Sato Samaya Manubanaya Beja Sato Tenu Balisha Jetsome Bawa Sudo Kayume Bawa Sobo Kayume Bawa Anuratome Bawa Shawa Sili Meborayasa Shawa Karma Sutame Chitamo Siliyan Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Bezamami Mancha Bezabawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei 做观想大礼拜。
Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas.
Hom 观想顶礼，回天心善引。
Second to all Bodhisattvas.
Hom 观想顶礼，回天心善引。300诸
Third to all Herukas and protectors.
Hom 观想顶礼，回天心善引，是平等一起手。
Fourth half bow.
念圆满咒。
Recite completion mantra.
Om Bling Om Bling Om Mani Padme Hum。 让我们以最热烈的掌声感谢法王圣尊莲生活和主坛白度母护摩法会。
Let's give a round of applause to show our utmost gratitude to our lineage Guru for presiding over this White Tara Homa fire offering ceremony. Now let us join our palms with reverence, and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teachings. Let's pay homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Chengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Tarji. Homage to the 3 jewels of the altar. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dharma, and homage to the Sangha. Homage to the main deity of Homa, the 7-eyed Buddha Mother, White Tara. Sumo. Tanchen Katso, Tutan City. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do? Aisteru.
고잉 이지가 김어지 지훈이 야비 블린블린 공지와那么现在问着大家，下个礼拜天
，I would like to make an announcement for next Sunday, December 13th at 3 p.m. There'll be Siddhikarma Bodhisattva Homa fire offering ceremony. And his mudra this mudra. That's also called Vajra teeth. This mudra is also called the Vajra teeth. The mudra of Siddhikarma. The mantra. He is holding a kachanka, wearing the 5 Buddha crown, and he looks very dignified. And his hand is holding the bright pearl. And there's some image with him holding an alms bowl, a bowl. And sometimes he's riding on a diting. Sometimes he's seated on top of a lotus. And Siddhikarma is one of the 8 great bodhisattvas. And his Pure Land is called the Cui Wei Pure Land, which is the marvelous jade. And we refer to him sometimes as the savior of the netherworld, Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. And Simu's mom, when she was about to die, she saw the appearance of Grandmaster and also Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. So next to Grandmaster, there was Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. So therefore, Grandmaster and Siddhikarma are like buddies or brothers, and I refer to him as the Golden Padma Kumara. And at the Jiuhua mountain in Anhui, at the peak of the Jiuhua mountain, which is one of the 4 famous Buddhist mountains in China. And the founder was Jin Qiaojie, with the family name Jin or Kim. Maybe it's the ancestors of the Kim Jong-un. from Korea. Many people in Korea with the last name Kim.
这是通知大家。
So I would like to let everybody know.
地藏王菩萨这一尊呢，
Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva, whether you want to be primary supplicant or not, nobody said anything.
跟地藏王菩萨有缘很好的。
It's good that you have affinity with Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva.
一般人不知道。
His Pure Land
也是一个
is called the Tui-Wei Pure Land. Most people don't know. It's a very nice Pure Land
地藏王
there.
菩萨不只是代表，他是幽冥界的教主。
So he does not represent only the netherworld, but also there are 6 Siddhikarpas
人
for the heavenly realm, human realm, Asura, hell, hungry ghosts, animal realm.
全部都有地藏王菩萨。
There are Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva in these 6 rebirth realms.
那你如果筑起呀，
If you become primary supplicant, it's very convenient.
你当了任何一道，因为你跟地藏王菩萨有缘，
Because you have affinity with Siddhikarpa Bodhisattva,
你有
naturally
些功德。
you would have some merits.
如果你真的堕落到地狱去，
If you really fall to hell, if you fall into hell,
大概也是
perhaps
比较方便一点。
it would be good for you that you have connection with Siddhikarpa.
阿弥陀佛。
Amitabha.
那今天呢，我们是做
Today
白度母。
we did the Homa of White Tara or White
这一
Dakini.
尊呢，是长寿三尊。
This deity is one of the 3 longevity deities.
白度母，真寿白度母。
The White Tara who extend lifespan.
白度母
So longevity Buddha, White Tara, and Usnisha Vijaya.
三尊。
They are referred as the 3 longevity deities. So if you become the primary supplicants for this deity,
夭寿
will not die young. Perhaps
不会这个突然间猝死。
you will not all of a sudden die suddenly.
这一尊，他是长寿三尊之一。另外，
This deity is one of the 3 longevity deities.
他对
And she has a
这个传染
strength
传染
that for contagious diseases, she
会
can
有抗拒的力量，因为白
she's able to
是在
counter, because white is for purification
另
and
一方面
illness is also some calamities.
上个礼拜我都没有讲，我看看谁
I didn't say this last week. I want to check who becomes primary supplicants.
至少有白度母注顶，
If you are primary supplicants, you have white Tara on top of your head, then you will not be infected by the contagious
白度母
diseases.
注顶住在你顶上，没有筑起，你跟他有
So, if you have white Tara on top of your heads, or you register for primary supplicants and you have affinity with white
这
Tara,
不是我讲的，
then you can resist the contagious diseases.
在
I didn't make this up.
力度母
of the 21 taras, green tara, white tara. White tara is the dakini who extend lifespan,
专门对治
and also
传染病的
has the specialty to resist contagious diseases.
那么
One
跟
of the 21
师
taras,
尊很有缘，
and she
嗡
has great affinity with Grandmaster.
呀说哈，嗡咕噜呀说哈，嗡别扎咕噜呀说哈，
The mantra
就是短咒。
Om Guruya Soha or Om Beja Guruya Soha, the short mantras.
他也曾经教授师尊的这个戒律，
And this deity had taught Grandmaster about precepts.
戒的经典
So the Vinaya,
非常明白，
the sutras about the
所以我写
precepts,
了一本书，
says very clear about them.
家世的宝剑，
Therefore, I wrote a book called The Precious Sword of a Yogi.
白度白空行母所传授的。
They were transmitted by White Tara, White Dakini.
那么戒律学也是戒学，也就是
The Vinaya, or the study of the precepts,
藏论当中的一项。
is one of the five great treatises.
在进入
Before
的时候，先以一个笑话，
the Dharma teaching, I would like to start with a joke.
这个伏特加加上冰块
Vodka plus ice
伤肝，
will harm the liver.
酒大部分都会，
Most alcohol
大部分都会伤肝，
will injure the liver.
加冰块
And brandy plus ice also will harm the liver.
加冰块，
Whiskey plus ice will also harm the liver.
冰块也一样。
And sorghum wine plus ice
事
too.
项可以证明
So the
冰
above
块一定有毒。
can prove that the ice is the one that's poisonous.
其实哦，大家知道的，有毒的不是冰块，
The toxic one is not the ice but the alcohol.
所以在五戒当中啊，我们有五戒：
So of the five precepts,
杀、盗、淫、妄、酒，
of the not to
酒
kill,
戒
not
为
to
五
steal,
戒当中的一
not to adulterate, not to lie, and not to be intoxicated.
酒，酒精
So alcohol is
还
one
是
of
会伤
them.
害。
The alcohol can harm the
现
liver.
在我们像师尊啊，
So now, like Grandmaster,
这时候饮食非常的重要，在吃东西方面，
diet is extremely important. Grandmaster
我
paid
们知道吃
great
糖
attention to his
吃的
diet.
太多，
If you take in too much sugar
不懂事，
when you were young, you did not know.
大家都吃一碗，
Everybody loves sweets. Everybody had
那
the
我
bowl.
一定要吃2碗。
And I would eat 2 bowls.
师母在跟我讲，
And then
师母
Simu
在
said,
旁边提醒我
reminded
你怎
me,
么可以吃2碗？
how could you eat 2 bowls of sweets?
我就吃3碗。
As soon as he said that, I would eat 3 bowls.
所以现在知道了，
So now we know
吃糖
that
伤害到
eating sugar will harm the heart.
脏，
the pancreas.
心脏胰脏，糖吃的太多，
If you eat too much sugar,
心脏跟胰脏。
your heart and pancreas will be hurt.
盐吃的太多，
If you eat too much salt,
肾脏。
it would harm your kidneys.
太咸，会伤害肾。
You cannot eat too
另外
salty,
油也不能吃太多，
and you cannot take too much fat and oil.
会伤了肝脏，
It would harm your liver.
会伤了肝脏，会伤了肝脏。很多东西呀、都是吃太多，都会有伤害。
So there are a lot of things because you eat too much.
少盐、
It would be harmful.
少糖、
So you should eat less salt,
清淡食物，
less sugar, less
不要
fat,
吃那么太多。
and eat something lightly, not too rich.
大家也都知道，我们
We
小
all
时候
know when we were young,
亲叫我们起床，
our
母
moms
亲叫我们起床。
would wake us up.
有时候啊，住乡下是公鸡叫我
And
们起床，
sometimes, if you live in the villages, the
公鸡
roosters
叫我们起床，
will
母亲
call
小时
you
候叫我们起床。
out of bed.
再来呢，是闹钟叫我们起床，
And then the
闹
alarms
钟会叫我们起床。
wake us up.
还有一样，是活菩
And
萨
for Grandmaster,
护法，
Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors will wake me up.
年纪再大一点，
And as you grow even older,
是膀胱，
the one who wakes you up is your bladder.
所以很重要，很重要。
So it's very important.
饮食啊，
Diet and age.
我记得有一句话，好
As I remember, there's a phrase
年轻的时候
like this. When you're young,
是我们在糟蹋身体， 年纪大了，
we are bringing down our
身
bodies.
体在糟蹋我。
As we age, our bodies bring us
大
down.
家要注意，病
So
从
pay attention
非常重要。
that illnesses come through the mouth.
这个现在进行你问我的，
Now we will do the question answer.
是台湾莲
Asked
花
by Taiwan, 莲花怀子.
顶礼根本上师莲生圣尊，
Homage to the lineage of Guru, living Buddha Lian Shang.
曾以一位没有信仰，
Once I discussed with an agnostic friend
聊天，
who likes to talk about philosophy and religion.
基督教的上
He asked,
印度教
the God in Christianity, Brahma in Hinduism, are creators of the
应
world.
该是宇宙最伟大的
They should be the greatest existence in the universe.
承认创造
Buddhism recognizes that the creator
而不是佛。为何又说
of the universe is Brahma and not the Buddha? So why does it state that Buddha is greater than the creator?
是信
I didn't have time to ponder, but replied nonetheless. Buddha Dharma is absolute and not relative.
和印
Christianity and Hinduism
创造
talk about creation
也讲毁灭，
as well as destruction.
这还局限在相对的概念，
So they are still limited by the relativism.
是不生不
But
灭。
Buddha nature is an absolute with no arising and no ceasing.
毁灭跟
Therefore, It is deeper than creation and destruction. I did also explain to this friend that I was unable to explain what is the ultimate Buddha Dharma. So, Grandmaster, to someone newly acquainted with Buddhism, was my answer above incomplete or misleading? How should I add to it? So what he said was not bad. We say it this way. The so-called Brahma in Hinduism, Mahabrahma of the heavenly realm of form, and God in Christianity, and the God in Judaism, and God in Muslim, and God in Catholicism, and God in Orthodox. They're all the same and one God. According to Buddhism, why is the Buddha an absolute? Because he's beyond the 6 rebirth realm. He's not part of the 6 rebirth realm. Brahma has the creation, existence, deterioration, and emptiness. And his lifespan is 100 million years. However, in the heavenly realm of form, if you exhaust your merits, you would still be in the rebirth cycle. The lifespan is very long, about 100 million years. So creation, existence, destructions, and emptiness will not be able to fathom the Buddha. But this creation, existence, destructions, and emptiness can relate to the heavenly realms of desire, form, and no form, which are still part of the rebirth cycle. So we can say that God and Brahma are still part of the rebirth cycle. So we take refuge. We take refuge in the Buddha. That Buddha is like our teacher. We take refuge in the Dharma, which is all the teachings of the teacher. And if we follow them, we can reach the realm of the Buddha. And we take refuge in the Sangha. And they are the spiritual companions who teach us Buddha Dharma. That's a true refuge. And lastly, you would know, when you take refuge in the Buddha, you can do the self-refuge. Why is it called self-refuge? So you take refuge in the Buddha nature inside yourself, because you originally or intrinsically have the Buddha nature with you. And you take refuge in the Dharma. You take refuge in the rules of speech and conduct. So you take refuge in your own speech and conduct. So speech and conduct. And taking refuge in the Sangha, that your body was originally pure, then you are an ordained Sangha or holy person. So this is called the three self-refuge. So you take refuge in your own body, speech and mind. And the mind is the Buddha Dharma, the speech is the Dharma, and your pure body is the Sangha. So you take refuge in your own body, speech and mind. So you should understand the meaning of refuge. Why do you need to take refuge in the Buddha? Because to abandon the sixth rebirth realm, when you have no cause for birth, you will have no fruition of death. So you don't have the cause for life and death, and you have no result or fruition of the life and death. The Bible once said that if you go to heaven, you can be with God and Jesus for 1,000 years. If you go to heaven, you would be together with God and Jesus for 1,000 years. But they didn't say, how about after 1,000 years? But what the Buddha taught was, if you take refuge in the Buddha, when you attain Buddhahood, you have been liberated from the rebirth cycle. There is no arising and no ceasing, no birth and no death. So that would be a permanent existence. You want to study Buddha Dharma because Buddha is absolute and not relative. No birth, no death. If they are birth and death, then that would be relative. If there are no birth and no death, then that would be absolute. So actually what he said was also correct. In Tantric Buddhism, we have a special refuge, fourfold refuge. Namo Gurupe. Why do we add Namo Gurupe? Because the Guru embodies the three jewels. So Namo Gurupe means you take refuge in the marvelously virtuous Guru who embodies the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, the three jewels. He symbolizes the Buddha, he transmits the Buddha Dharma. So Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. So that's what it meant, that he embodies, because only the Guru, Namo Gurupe, can teach us the true, authentic Buddha Dharma. The second question by the same person, Lian Hua Huaizi. Mathematics and physics extrapolate that the universe has 11 dimensions. Human beings can only detect 3 dimensions. But the fourth and fifth dimensions exceed time and space. They are only discussed theoretically in science and not easy to explain in common language. In science fiction, the fourth and fifth dimensions allow travels through time and space and creation of lives. But higher dimensions are unfathomable to human beings. Grandmaster, the theory of multi-dimensional travel beyond time and space and the enlightenment realm of seeing through the absoluteness of Buddha Dharma, 10 Bodhisattva grounds up to the 16th ground, are they interlinked? Can we use this scientific concept to let people understand this preliminary concept of Buddhism? This is very profound. You use science, mathematics, physics, and Buddha Dharma are linked. It's a way to express. Grandmaster only reached master's degree, bachelor's degree, but many of the disciples have master's degree. Also, many of them have a doctorate's degree or even postdocs, like the academician Zhu Siyu. His physics, quantum physics, are amazing. Physical chemistry. He can extrapolate Buddha Dharma and science together. He's teaching in Taiwan now, and he's also teaching in America. Now he teaches at the University of Taiwan. So he's an academician which is higher than the PhD. So this kind of theoretical thing, I think the Bodhisattva 10th ground up to the 16th ground, they should have some interrelationship. Because the Buddhas has said that it reaches the 3 time dimensions, which is the past, present, and future. The past, present, and future. So it encompasses clearly the past, present, and future, and reaches the 10 directions, the spatial dimension, which is north, south, east, and west, and then another 4 directions in between, and then zenith and nadir up and down. So Buddha Dharma clearly reaches the time dimension, the 3 time dimensions of past, present, and future, and the 10 spatial dimensions. So, time and space, which is what Denhua Huaizi said about that it includes all the 11 dimensions. Therefore, Buddha Dharma and science are linked together. Someone asked me, how do we maintain youth? I have to see the person before I teach. And there is an answer that is common. There is no time. Is the way to maintain your youthfulness. Without time, no time dimension is a way to maintain your youthfulness. That's conceptually, because time does not exist. Then next year I will still be 7. It's my secret. I will not tell how old I am. I would still be the same age. Like when I was 20 years old, and then there's no more time dimension, then I'm always 20. My face will not change. My body and mind will not change. Always the look of a 20-year-old. That's the way to maintain the youthfulness. As long as time doesn't exist anymore. Let me teach you, in your deep sleep, the deepest sleep, do you have the concept of time? No. No concept of time. When you're in meditation, where you're in deep penetration of the paramita, do you have a concept of time? No. Therefore, some people went deep into the mountain and saw a huge, a holy tree. And they cut it open, and there was a human being meditating inside it. So inside the tree, there is a space dimension, and where a human being is meditating. So he opened his eyes and he asked the person who cut down the tree, what year or what date is this? And this year. And he asked, is the Venerable Huineng, is Lu Huineng, which is the 6th patriarch Huineng, still alive, still around? Which dynasty was that? Tang dynasty. Well, of course, the Venerable Huineng is not alive anymore. Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing dynasties, and then the Republic. How many dynasties have we passed? So who is the Venerable Huineng? And he replied, my brother. So you're the Venerable Huineng's younger brother? He had no time dimension. He had. So in the Tang dynasty, he entered into the tree and meditated. And when he exited, these dynasties, Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing, and the Republic have passed. Look how many dynasties have passed. So we all know the power of his meditation. How deep his meditation power is. Something like this happened. So you travel through time and space. I can go to the past life. I can also enter into the future. or I go to the library in the heavenly realm. All my books are there. I wrote it. I went to the library in the heaven. I ask, this book that I'm writing now, Meeting Bodhidharma, which is my book number 280th book. Is it here? And they said, yes, it's not published. You're still writing. Now I just finished it yesterday. Book number 280. So the 280th book exists in the heavenly library. And I was curious, so I asked, how about my book number 281? Sure. I haven't written it. And I don't even have the title of the book. And I said, let me see the title of the book. And they said, no. And not 281 only, more books. So that's transcending the future. All those books were there long ago, and the titles of the books too. And I haven't written it now. And they also brought me to see books from the past, from my past lives. They took me to see them. You wrote this book, you wrote this treatise, this treatise, this treatise. You wrote them. So I transcend time and space, right? And so I pass through the time and space, and the future books are already there already. So that means that the 3 times are the same, and the 10 directions are all reached. So you go to the past, present, and future, and then all 8 directions and up and down. I've been all in the 10 directions. That's why I taught Tansen Katsu. You have to study until you graduate from college. If someone asks you about this 11 dimensions, if you were an academician like Professor Zhu, physics, chemistry, he understands everything. He would know about the 11 dimensions, the formation of the universe, the past, present, and future. And he could extrapolate from physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Then it would be easy to explain. So you need to have some basic knowledge, and then you add Buddha Dharma to it. That would be beneficial to your Dharma propagation in the future. From Indonesia, Lianhua Xiufen. I wish Grandmaster health and continually turn the Dharma wheel. When I was 9 years ago, I already took refuge in Grandmaster. So she took refuge when she was 8 and 9 years ago, so she's 17. That's a young lady. And I have read many of Grandmaster's books. But up till now, I still have a question unanswered. Non-dharma and dharma are a pair of opposites. Grandmaster said that there is a primordial Buddha of the 16th ground, and his Sanskrit name is Adharma Buddha. And the meaning of Adharma is non-dharma. And Chinese fa in Sanskrit is dharma. 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 So why was he called the Adharma Buddha, non-dharma? Because Adharma embodies something bad, because it is the opposite of dharma. Could it be related to this phrase, one nature and two faces? Buddha and Mara are the same. A young girl, very opinionated. Adharma means non-dharma. And dharma, fa is dharma. And non-dharma and dharma are a pair of opposites. The origin of the word dharma comes from Sanskrit dhr, which means support, engage or maintain. Dharma includes the meaning of ultimate truths, responsibility, virtues, laws, and even natural order. Add a to dharma and it becomes adharma. And its meaning include not the ultimate truth, non-dharma, and similar opposites. So which shows that's the opposite. The Buddha of the 16th ground, Adharma Buddha. Why he does not belong to the Dharma? Because there is no more Dharma, no more natural order. When you reach that realm, like we just said earlier, that we reach the 3-time dimension of past, future, and present, and the spatial dimension of the 10 directions. That's 0. But Dharma is 1. So thing that's born from 0 is 1. They are not a pair of opposites. One is the primordial, and the other one is birth. Dharma is born, is a birth. Buddha Dharma is a birth. And non-dharma is above dharma, which represented by numbers would be 0. 0 encompasses everything. Even the 1 is encompassed in 0. Everything is encompassed by 0. But once it's being born or emanated from it, that would be 1. Dharma is 1. Non-dharma is 0. The highest realm. Nothing is higher than that realm. That's adharma. Non-dharma. The highest realm. According to what the Buddha taught, taught,
最高的境界，
someone asked the Buddha,
佛说
how do you speak on the
因为不能用
realm of non-dharma?
表征，
He
没
replied,
有办法用语言
cannot be put into words. It's impossible to be described
那个
with
境界没有
language.
办法用语言文字来。我
That kind of realm.
跟你讲，非
All I can tell you
文字，你用的
that
是文字
non-dharma is not about words and language.
不是文字，
Actually, it's not about
非法是一个象征，
words.
是一个象征。
Non-dharma is just a symbol. Zero is just a symbol.
不可说的，
It is unspeakable. Then dharma does not exist.
那你要到达非法的境界，
If you want to reach the realm of non-dharma or the realm of unspeakable, you have to return to one. And from one, you enter into
所以
zero.
我们讲16
Then that would be unspeakable.
阿达尔玛，
So the Buddha of the 16th ground, Adharma, is unspeakable.
那底下的五佛就有智慧了，
And
就
then
可以说
below him, the 5 Dhyani Buddhas have wisdom then can be spoken. Like Amitabha Buddha is the Buddha of the marvelous observation
像
wisdom,
那个
wisdom of marvelous observation.
那个阿出佛，
And Akshobha Buddha is the immovable Buddha.
还有所谓的大圆镜智，大圆镜智，
And the
等
wisdom
性智，
of the mirror-like,
法界理性智，妙观，
the wisdom of equality, the wisdom of all
这个
accomplishment,
智慧出来了，才
and
分成
one more.
五方。
And because these 5 wisdoms are emanated, therefore the 5 Dhyani Buddhas appear. They are the Buddhas of the 13th ground. So each of the Buddhas are one.
智慧出来，
Once they were emanated, they become
法界
one.
理性智，
The wisdom of the Dharma nature,
大日如来，
the highest one, that's Vairocana Buddha, or the great
这
sun
是可
Tathagata.
以讲的。这
That can be spoken. These 5 wisdoms can be spoken.
那我这样子解释啊，
So
不是一体两面。
my explanation, so it's not one nature and 2 faces, and Buddha and Mara are the same. And only when you reach the very high realm that the Buddha and Mara are the same. But Dharma and Adharma are not one nature with 2 faces.
这五方佛就可以说，
One is unspeakable and the other one is speakable. The 5 Dhyani Buddhas is speakable.
程度这么高的莲花秀芬，
So
知道吗？
this Lianhua Xiufen with the highest standard.
是不可说的，
Are you satisfied with my answer? Because the highest one is unspeakable. It cannot be described.
再来一个文文，
Next one, Wen Wen did not say the country.
文文问的，顶礼师尊，请问师
Homage to Grandmaster.
尊，变身金母的心咒是
In the mantra of transformation body of Golden Mother, there is Mulati. What does it mean?
变身金母的心咒是
The mantra is
金母摩拉蒂啊，摩拉蒂说哈，
Om Pancha Jimu Mulati Soha.
是什么意思？
Mulati.
摩拉蒂
What does it
变
mean?
化，
Mulati means transformation.
Om 被长智慧的金母变化，
Om, the wise Jinmu, transform, complete.
就是变化。
Transformation. Mulati means transformation. Thank you for your question.
这个女朋友发烧到39度8。
The girlfriend has a high fever, 39.8, and the girlfriend cried and said, "I'm about to burn to become an idiot." And the boyfriend said, "No, no, you won't. I got a fever of over 40 when I was young." And the girlfriend asked, "So will I be as idiot as you then?" It turned out that the boyfriend was burned in high fever to become an idiot. 40 degrees, that's 40 degrees Celsius, that's very severe. A patient went to the hospital to get an IV. And when it's about done, the doctor got another one. And the patient said, I only want to have one bottle of intravenous. Do I need another one? But the doctor said, well, you win the prize. Because for that other bottle is you buy one, get one free. Even for the IV bottle, there's also prices. Now we'll talk about Lamdre. The verse, endless expressions, is to show the unimaginable guiding path of the characters. When Qi gradually clarifies and becomes nectar to harmonize, it can bring anything one wishes for. The expressions should be moved to the front, which means in meditation you use the syllables to guide, and the Qi will gradually clarify, would purify your mind, your thoughts, body and mind, and eventually becomes nectar to harmonize very evenly, very good, very pure nectar. It can bring anything one wishes for. Or you can reach the 3 realms. The purer you get, the higher the realm. So the realm of no form, that's highest in the 3 realms, and then the realm of form, and then the realm of desire. And through the power of your meditation, you would know, like Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, when he was in deep penetration, which means in deep meditation. He discovered that form is emptiness and emptiness is form. So that Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva's meditation, as it was written in the Heart Sutra. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, in his deep penetration of paramita, which is when the mind Qi of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva entered into a very deep meditation, he discovered the concepts that are written in the Heart Sutra. That's the Heart Sutra. Using it to open the channel knots so that all channels become pliant and harmonious, and the channel characters become all kinds of forms. It is referred as the harmonization of the characters, and by using its power to eliminate major bodily disorder and obstructions, it is referred as the harmonization of the body. So what it meant, your own body can be made so that all channels are open and flowing smoothly without obstructions. That's harmonization. Inside our body, the most important channels are the central channel, the left and right channels, and there are more than 72,000 channels, including the capillaries. They're all channels. All the channels inside your body, as soon as if they are open and can make circulation flow smoothly, that's called harmonization. Then your body will not be in disorder or chaotic. So harmonization of the body means that all the channels inside your body, the 72,000 channels, are all open and can let things flow smoothly. So when the channels are harmonized, that means that all the channels, big and small, are open and flowing. That's what it meant. Thus, of the 4 kinds of harmonization, by the power of harmonization of the characters and ambrosia, generating all kinds of yogic experiences amid rebirth cycle and nirvana, for the starts of affinity of the inner channels and mind chi accumulation are endless explanations, which mean it's impossible to explain them all. You use your body to unite or to merge with the consciousness of the universe. You use the channels inside your body, you make them all open and flowing, and then you can interconnect with the consciousness of the universe. It's impossible to explain all this, which means there are endless explanations. And we've talked about the 4 kinds of harmonization of the earth, water, wind, and fire. You use the characters and nectar and the power of harmonization, generating all kinds of yogic experiences amid rebirth cycle and nirvana. They cannot be explained completely, which means they are endless. So our body is actually linked or interconnected with the whole, the consciousness of the whole universe. So in order to comprehend the above 2 kinds of starts of affinity of harmonization, it is doubtless therefore referred as expressions. So no skepticism. Through the frank pith instructions of the Achala characters, and from it deriving the other explanations as well, although the explanations are endless in Kodi years, because the instructions on the inner start of affinity characters cannot possibly be expressed through words. So these 3 characters If you mastered these 3 characters, then you would know lot. 1 is the same as a lot, or many. Many is the same as 1. It cannot be expressed through words. It cannot be spoken about. When you reach such a realm, the harmonization of the body is related to the consciousness of the universe. There is nothing more to say, which means endless explanations. The verse, Secret 50, the 5 abiding paths and 10 bodhisattva grounds, etc., as spoken in Paramitayana, also have these 4 harmonizations. However, they never heard of the instructions on the meaning of the characters, thus they are secret. Just like the Nalikara continent, the coconut continent, the mooing of cows is unheard of. I know there's a continent where you would never hear the cows mooing. But in the continent of the cow, there is the sound of animals. But in the Nalikala continent, you never heard of the mooing of the cow. So that's called secret. The above is the instruction on the causes to rise to meditation. So, causes to rise to meditation, and all the explanations there is on meditation outline and extensive explanation is complete. That's the end of it.
在自己住室，他坐电梯的时候，遇到邻居。
When getting on the elevator, I met the neighbor uncle, and the uncle said, my wife called me and she cooked 9 dishes and 1 soup. Why don't you come and eat at my house? Because the neighbors are maybe in good terms. And then when I got into his house, it turned out that there's some chive. It turned out that it sounded like 9 dishes, but actually it's like a chive. It's like a stir-fried chives and 1 soup, the egg drop soup. So he misunderstood.
老实讲，一个傻瓜提出来的问题，10个聪明人也回答不上来。
A question asked by an idiot, even the 10 smart people would not be able to answer, and the Xiaoming replied that no wonder I always failed in my tests, because the questions were asked by idiots, the teachers, like the idiots. Xiaoming in high school, the teachers prohibited dirty words, otherwise he would be fined $5. And one day he was not carelessly said dirty words, and the teacher caught him and said, "Okay, now you're fined $5." And then Xiaoming gave the teacher $10, And the teacher said, I have no $5. And then Xiaoming replied the curse word, and then no need to give me a change, then that would be $10.
这是老人家的笑话。王老先生怀疑这个
This is a joke about elderly.
听力不行，需要助听器，又不敢叫他去看医生，
So
去找医生。医生说
the Mr. Huang
地方跟他讲
did not want his wife, discovered that his wife did not have good hearing, but did not want to ask her to go. So he went to see the doctor, and the doctor said, you just keep trying it from like 20 meters and then go to 10 meters and then closer and closer.
王老先生就在
And the wife was cooking, and then the Mr. Huang at the 20 meters asked, what are we eating tonight? No replied. And then at 5 meters he asked again, no replied again. And he kept getting closer and asking, and finally it was right in front of her and asked again. And the wife finally replied, we have fish tonight. And I've told you 5 times. So it turned out the problem is not in the wife, it's his own problem. Oh, money bring me home.
非常感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛精彩宝贵的法语开示。
We are very grateful to His Holiness precious Dharma teachings.
观想大礼拜。
And now we will perform the great prostration using visualization, and this ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.
顶礼坛城，观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善因。二拜诸菩萨。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善因。三拜诸护法金刚。嗡啊吽，观想顶礼，回天心善因。 四平等一起手。好，现在让师尊再跟顺的弟子们打招呼。Say goodbye。 祝你们身体健康，
健康，每次都是我健康，每次都是我祝你健康，我身体。 拜拜。我们想你，是我们好想你，我们是我们的歌，我们好像是好你的时间感谢我见最终谢谢师母，我们好身体健康，你好想念，我好保暖，请佛助真谢谢师母，我们爱你，谢谢你们。大家好，我们想你，想你好想你，想死我们，拜拜，好，爱你，好想你，
好，谢谢师尊，谢谢孙的弟子们，谢谢你们，下星期见，再见。 保持60的距离，谢谢。6尺的距离，谢谢。请保持6尺的距离，谢谢。还没有接受灌顶的同们，请你们赶快过来接受灌顶，灌顶即将要结束了。让我们以最热烈的掌声，感谢法王圣尊莲生活佛慈悲赐受白度母法灌顶。网络直播到此结束，非常感谢大家的收看。We now conclude night broadcast. Thank you for viewing.